Welcome back. It is 9:29. Earlier we spoke about vaccine boosters for the immunocompromised, but for healthy, fully vaccinated people, is a booster really necessary? There's word it's going to be approved for healthy individuals as soon as any day now. We are joined by Dr. Sadiya Khan, an assistant professor of preventative medicine and epidemiology at Northwestern Medicine. Good morning to you, Dr. Khan. Always good to see you. So
Good morning.
let's get right into this. These vaccines still are not fully approved. But the FDA, there's talk that this could be coming out. The Biden administration could be saying boosters for everyone. There's a lot of skepticism about this. Is this necessary?
It's a great question. And I think the most important part of that question is, what are the available data? We've heard news and leaks from the Biden administration that boosters are going to be approved and there's going to be an 8-month window, but we still don't know what the data are behind those recommendations. And that's why I remain skeptical. And on top of that, we continue to have a complete underutilization of vaccines around the world.
Yeah, and I have heard that that is a big concern, is that why give us boosters when we have other parts of the world that are still waiting for that first shot? And it doesn't make a lot of sense. I know the World Health Organization has talked about that. I've also heard there's a lack of evidence that giving a third or fourth dose enhances the immune response dramatically. What can you tell us about that?
That's a really important question in all of this. A lot of the studies are looking at antibody levels, and that's one measure of your immune response. But even if antibody levels decline with time after the vaccine, which we expect to happen, it doesn't mean that your immune system can't activate if it is faced with the virus and develop new antibodies that your body will produce. That's actually the goal of the vaccine, is to prime you and prepare you to develop your own antibodies. So we don't know that there's any decline in vaccine efficacy with time.
Okay, so let's talk about that next, because we've been told, and we have a graphic here that I want to pull up that we got from you guys, that we've been told the COVID vaccines are about 95% effective against COVID-19. So my question is, how quickly over time does that effectiveness diminish? For example, are they only 40% effective after 6 months? Explain how this works as we look at this graphic in front of us as well.
That's a great question, and I think is the unanswered question. We don't have an exact percentage or number on it, but the thing that we do know is that the more virus that is circulating in the environment, the less effective a vaccine may be if there's more people that are unvaccinated around you. So the boosters are taking an individual approach to what is a public health problem, thinking that we can improve the efficacy, which may be possible with additional shots, for each individual person that is willing to be vaccinated, but it probably won't solve the bigger problem. It's like a little drop in a big bucket.
Right, right. Okay, here's a question for you too, because we've been hearing reports that Moderna is more effective against the Delta than Pfizer is. So a lot of people are saying, well, if I have to get a booster, I actually got either the Pfizer, or maybe I got the Moderna, or maybe I got the Johnson & Johnson. Can my booster be one of these other ones that I did not get?
I don't think we have sufficient data to say that that would not be an acceptable approach. We know for a lot of other vaccines, we mix and match all the time. So I don't think that there's any harm in that. The differences in efficacy across the different brands are probably also negligible, again, in the greater picture of making sure we get as many people vaccinated as possible in the world.
So when it comes to these new variants, the Delta being the latest that's causing the issue, we've heard about some other ones that are coming. When they do these boosters, will they try to do them so that they actually directly are affecting what we expect is going to be coming as a new variant, or what new ones were not targeted before?
In an ideal world, that would exactly be the approach. Every year for influenza vaccine, we're trying to predict what variants may be coming, and so that we try to target those. I think right now what we know is that the most important thing that we can do is vaccinate as many people as possible with the current vaccines that have EUA, and hopefully will get full approval, because that's really important as well, to make sure that we're studying these with rigor and not accelerating the path or timeline because it may be a variant specific vaccine.
Okay, bottom line for us then on this, on boosters, because as I said, it could come today that they're saying fully vaccinated may need boosters after 8 months. What do you want people to know as far as being advocates for their health when it comes to these booster announcements?
I think we need to follow the CDC and FDA guidelines. If they are approved, then I think that's a reasonable path forward for those who are willing to be vaccinated. But as a country, as a society, and as a kind of global people, we need to make sure that that's not coming at the cost of continuing to not have access to vaccines in other parts of the world where these variants are coming, and they will keep coming if we don't get the whole world vaccinated.
Dr. Sadiya Khan with Northwestern Medicine, as always. Great to have you on. Thank you for your perspective. Have a wonderful day. Coming up.